Good morning, YouTube. So today we are going to do the full review of the Saucony Endorphin Shift. So let's get right into it. We're going to first start with just some general specs. So this is a neutral shoe, but they call it a structured cushioning shoe. Part of that is because of this heel cup wrap in the back, which prevents you from moving too much one way or the other. It kind of helps prevent your foot roll inwards when striking. You also have this little area here that's just got a little extra tread, and it's almost like a post, but it's not as severe as like a post in a motion control or stability shoe, but it does prevent a little bit of that rolling inwards when you strike. Now looking at the offset, this is a pretty hefty stack height. So this is a 38 millimeter stack height in the heel and a 34 millimeter stack height in the forefoot, giving it a 4 millimeter drop. And then finally, it's a little on the hefty side, coming in at 10.1 ounces in a men's size 9. This one, I don't know the exact measurement because I don't have the scale that I'm using yet to weigh shoes, but coming in probably closer to 11 ounces. I will say on the benefit, though, is that it doesn't feel heavy on foot. I've had some shoes where they just feel clunky on your foot. This shoe doesn't do that. And it might partially be because of their the roll that they have in the midsole or the outsole of the foot, causing your foot just to move naturally through that motion, through that foot strike, which may help. Now, as far as the upper, I will tell you that this is a very cushiony upper. So, very soft in the heel area, very soft in the tongue. It is a gusseted tongue, so it does stay in place very nice. And as a whole, fairly breathable. I wouldn't say it's like the coolest shoe I have, like on hot days, but nothing crazy where I feel like my foot's overheating. I will tell you, my only complaint with the upper of this shoe is that it does feel a little narrow just down towards the end in the toe area. Not crazy to where it's like causing a lot of pain, but sometimes on longer runs, I am noticing that my toes start to feel a little tingly, which, and I can feel kind of where it's squishing my little toe. Just once I get a couple miles into the run. So, but overall, very comfortable upper. Midsole, I will tell you from my first impressions where I said that this felt like a very stiff ride, it still feels stiff, but it's definitely broken in some now to where it doesn't feel as stiff and it feels supportive and it feels like it's protecting my foot from what's on the road underneath. So it's still a somewhat stiff ride, but much more comfortable as I think I've done 10 or 11 runs in this now. So I could tell you it's definitely broken in, and it's actually become one of my favorite shoes to run in. So very happy there with the midsole. And then the outsole, not a ton of rubber, right? You got some rubber around the outsole, around the toe here. And then just through the middle, you got a little bit of a gully here, which is nice, kind of gives a little extra flex through the foot strike. And then a little bit of tread back here and here. Just enough to make it give you confidence when you're running on a wet road or whatever the case is. I haven't had any issues with slippage on this shoe. It does have a heel tab, which I personally like in sliding on your shoe. Just, I guess some companies don't do it anymore. Some do the elf thing. But for my opinion, overall really good. Yeah, so that's the brief rundown. If I was going to give this a score out of 10, I'll just kind of go through, the kind of step by step here. So, number one, the upper. I would give the upper a 7 out of 10. Mostly because it's just a little narrow in the forefoot. The midsole, I would give actually an 8.5 out of 10. And then the outsole, I'd give it 8 out of 10. So, as a whole, this shoe would be an 8 out of 10. I think it's well worth it. I think durability-wise, even for me, and I go through shoes quicker than a lot of people, Again, most people say anywhere from 300 to 500 miles in a pair of shoes. I usually see that 200 to 250 mile area. I'll tell you what, I'm not seeing really anywhere. A little bit through here, it's probably tough to see from the camera, but just where some of this exposed midsole is wearing a little bit. But I mean, I think even I will get probably 400 or 500 miles out of this shoe. It is a very durable, well-built shoe, and it's come to a point where it's one of my favorite shoes. And I think bang for your buck, at $140, I think this shoe is well worth it, because you're going to get a lot of miles out of this shoe. So that's just my final review. This one will stay in the lineup, and I will still use this. Mostly probably for longer run days, because it's not too squishy, and it allows me to actually, even though it's a little bit heavier and a little bit higher stack height, this shoe I've actually been able to get going in a little bit. For me, compared to some of the other guys out there, I'm not running 6-minute miles, but when I want to go a little quicker and longer, this shoe's actually been really good for me. And the roll in the outsole has helped my foot strike, and I don't have enough good things to say about the shoe. So I would definitely recommend the Saucony Endorphin Shift. I hope all of you guys are having a great week. Coming up next, we are going to have some new first impressions coming down the pipeline, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. So until then, everybody stay healthy, find your happy, and seek to inspire. I'll talk to everybody soon. Have a great week. Bye.